Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. I am so excited to finally be getting into the Korean Royale Season 1 Grand Finals. Thank the Lord Wardy himself for posting these replays. This is Onside Gaming's MARU up against Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Hero. And I've heard that this series has been highly reviewed as a fun one. I personally see best of 7 between Hero and MARU, and I know it's going to be a bloody good series because these two, even if one of them bops the other, it's always fascinating how they do it. They've both taken each other down so many times. I do have to say, though, online, playing from the comfort of his home, on the Korean server, MARU has to be the favorite. I think you bring it out onto a big stage, a big tournament, overseas. You've already played a few series that day. Hero, I actually swing in his favor when you have a crowd there, when you have pressure on the player's shoulders. I feel like Hero, with his dynamic style, is so regularly, with the way he plays StarCraft, jumping into the flames of chaotic situations, jumping into bad spots and playing it out no matter what. Whereas MARU does get a little bit more thrown off in those live tournament environments. We saw it at the World Championship, and we've seen it in a bunch of different situations, really, where it's the third or the fourth series of the day at one of these weekender tournaments, and his performance seems to drastically drop. Whereas, you know, Hero, very good in those formats. That's why he was winning IEM tournaments back in the day as well. Weekender tournaments are actually in his favor because he's such a dynamic player. Now that's interesting, guys. That does feel like the Reaper can jump up and run straight into that base, so I don't think that's a proper wall-off. Looks like Hero did mess up his placement, I believe. But double gas opening for MARU. He's not going to be scouting at all just yet, going quick factory and pulling workers off gas. And notice MARU, guys, I've been so critical of everyone, but MARU not doing me dirty. One worker off one gas, two on the other to optimize his mining. So I don't have to shout about that for once. Thank the Lord. Nexus down, second gas going to start mining here for Hero. He's got Adept's Chrono boosting out as well. And he's going to go Stargate. All right. I love Stargate openings. I really feel Stargate openings are one of the most solid ways you can play in this matchup. However, if you're too predictable with it, it can be abused. But the fact that MARU is going for a Hellion, to me, says he probably doesn't really know what he's up against. I don't think he's anticipating it, especially if he starts going Widow Mines after that. Instead of going straight for Cyclones, then it is a good indicator. He's already scouting the map with the Reaper, checking for proxies. He knows who he's up against. He says Hero is a naughty boy who likes to cheese, and I've got to be very, very careful. Hero now has 2 Adepts out. He's actually been quite defensive with them, and he does pop that Adept out there. Just kind of guarding that position. Stargate coming up. It's got to be an Oracle opening, I would imagine, but you never know. Phoenix straight across the map. Okay, all right. Going to play a bit more conservative. Not wanting to fly that Oracle in across this giant map. Reaper's going to jump up there, and I think MARU's going to get a scout on this, which is always good. Adept does... Oh, Adept actually kills him, gets the shot off. He did see the Phoenix building, though. Obviously, did he actually realize that in time? Kind of hard to say, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty distinctive shape. And immediately, he cancels a medevac, starts building a Viking. So MARU's saying, okay, no worries, swap into a defensive stance. Normally, what you do against a Phoenix play is you go into that defensive stance. Now, Classic recently has really been at the cutting edge of PvT, and he has shown, and he had that very close series with MARU, right, leading up to this as well. He's shown that if you don't constantly build Phoenix, like, they're often sitting defensive just because you show them Phoenix. So you can actually cut Phoenix production at 1 or 2 and focus instead on your Robo, your gases, your ground units. And look, yeah, Hero is doing that as well. Okay, so Classic has really led a bit of a revolution in this matchup, I feel, where people are showing Phoenix to get the Terran to play defensive and build up a lot of like, anti-air units, and then they're just focusing on their own ground units. So it's amazing that this showing of a couple of Phoenix has become a new thing, because I can already imagine low-level players copying this and going, I built 2 Phoenix, so he has to respond this way. And then the opponent just comes in and drops 4 Widow Mines, and you can only pick up 2 of them, and you lose your probe line, and you're like, why doesn't it work at my skill level? This is a mind game between very high-level players. This is you're expecting them to basically react a certain way, so you're not even committing to your feint. You're feinting Phoenix, you're then swapping hard into ground play, and maybe adding a few Phoenix later for air control, but that's the way to do it. That's what's so fantastic. So I love it because, yeah, you can't do this against a low-level player. They're not going to react correctly against seeing the Phoenix. They'll still just play the exact same thing they were planning to do. They'll drive their Widow Mine drop in, and you'll go, oh, I wish I'd been pumping Phoenix the whole time. If I had 4 or 5 Phoenix, I'd shut it down. With only 2, I can't. That's a problem. Now, MARU's gone quick third command center. He's going to play Turtle Macro here. Always the problem with this style is you end up with your 3... You have like 60 workers. You really want to float your third down well before you get past 50, 55 workers to get extra mining, because your natural's full of workers. Problem, you don't really have stim and shields until super late. You've got very little bio. So if you move out there to defend your third mineral line, your bio can get surrounded by like zealots and that sort of stuff. In this case, it won't really be zealots. It'll be Colossus. Could deal with you when your bio's in small numbers. And you don't have any tanks. You don't have any Vikings. You're not going to have any real answer to that. Now, give it 3 or 4 minutes. MARU will have probably more stuff, right? Because he's only behind 5 workers. He's going to have triple mule dropping. He's got double upgrades on the way. But there is a big window where you are in a bit of peril. And the Phoenix hallucination comes in, confirms all of this, sees that there's a Raven, sees all of those units. And the third base is there. Now, no Forge just yet for Hero. And he is doing a pretty good job of consistent probing, though, something which Hero is not really famous for. Hero usually a player who's so aggressive that he does take big gaps in that. But the Twilight Forge going to go down at 6 minutes. Phoenix coming in from the right side of the natural. But there's missile turrets well placed. That SCV should be an easy pickoff. And there we go. Yeah, he will take that one. Does take a little bit of damage, though. And already we've got a big upgrade lead for MARU. The question is, does MARU play a slow game where he builds an armory straight away and goes straight for 2-2? Gumiho is one of the few players who does that in this matchup. Most Terrans don't really like to go straight for 2-2. They feel getting out more army is more important at that stage and making sure that they can either be aggressive or defend the Protoss aggression. But here we go. Phoenix coming into that main base right now. Stim and Shields is here. No aggressive poking for Hero. And I think it makes sense. With a Raven out, you know, your whole army is basically 2 Colossus. If they get Interference Matrix, you're in trouble. This is really good harassment, though. The Cyclone backs away from that. MARU's going to try and deal with the Phoenix harass by pushing. But with these Phoenix doing this much damage, I mean, they have so much energy. That's really making it very expensive for MARU, just ignoring these Phoenix. I'm kind of surprised that he's just shoving across the map. He is going for that quick armory that we talked about, which tells us he's aiming for a longer game. A Widow Mine goes down. Oh, nice recall. Oh, what? Oh my god, recall's so slow. Okay, maybe not that nice of a recall. He should have pulled away before recalling there. But the Phoenix have now come home. Adept on the Watchtower tries to shade out, does get taken out. MARU on that left Watchtower. 3 Colossus are up, but there's 2 Interference Matrices available on the Raven. It can cut 2 of those Colossus. But you've got 4 sentries, so you've got good force fields to hold back the opponent. Charge and +1 attacker on the way. +1 armor also going up now as well. And MARU does slow down and take a 4th command center. So I got to be a little critical of the fact that he lets so many SCVs die when he clearly is aiming for a much longer game. Now 2-2 is going to start up soon enough, so I do think MARU will continue that upgrade lead. +2 attack does start. There we go. +2 armor as well, of course. Terran always struggling for gas at this point in the game. And he's not actually taking the gases on his third because he's so Marine Marauder mine focus. It's a pretty low gas force. Oh, the Phoenix! Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you lose 2 Phoenix and that seems terrible. And then you realize the Raven is the guy that can literally remove all your splash damage from an engagement. Phoenix are going to be less important as this game goes on. The thing is, because you lost those Phoenix and you're not rebuilding them, you do need to queue up Blink now as Hero. Because otherwise these drops could get out of hand. 3 Phoenix will not stop drop play. It's going to need to do that. 4th Nexus will get cancelled. No, killed! Hero a little bit slow on the pop there. I mean, I think Hero is still in a good position in this game. And, oh, the Viking. MARU! He sees no anti-air, so he's like, let's just stutter step this, but the Guardian Shield and those 2 Phoenix come in to finally deal with that Viking. I'm just like, who bothers to stutter step a single Phoenix? Oh, a single Viking. MARU does, apparently, because he just wants every bit of damage. Now, his army's a bit overstimmed. He's got to be careful, let those guys heal, spread the units out. I think he can deal with Hero's army, but the force fields are actually the unspoken hero. There are so many force fields in there. With no tanks and no Vikings, MARU needs to flank. You can't fight this army front on because the force field's going to be too good. MARU! Oh no! He loses like 4 Marauders there. Okay, saves 2 of them. I think he only lost 3. The Widow Mine's getting offset off on single Zealots right now. These Zealots are running in front. Those Widow Mines taking them out, but they were already heavily damaged. Those Zealots not too big of an issue losing those. Oh, nice split on that Zealot, dragging these Widow Mines away. 0 vision for Hero is a big issue. It feels like Hero's in the driver's seat, looking really good in this game. He just has to be careful not to get surrounded and not to keep rallying through Widow Mines, which, oh god, a Hero. Ow! Ow! The Widow Mines just creating a bit of a literal minefield and making it very difficult for Hero to get in there. I like to see these units spread around a little bit more. They're very clumped on that natural ramp. That's very exposed to Colossus Splash. The Cyclone is helping out. It's like a makeshift siege tank right now, but it goes down. And the range of these Colossus, the 4 Immortals as well. This is a huge army for Hero. He's just chipping away at him. Now, Hero's got to be careful about staying here too long, because it's been equal upgrades, 1-1 versus 1-1, but 2-2's about to finish here for MARU. That's about to kick in. He's going to float his 4th command center over to the left side now. He's adding Ghosts. His first few Ghosts are out. Hero needs to realize that the longer he stays here, the bigger problem this is. He keeps rallying through these Widow Mines as well. He still has not dealt with that. Hero right now may have a little bit of a stiffy. He may need to waistband it. And this is something where Hero's power is attacking when other players would run away. It's also his weakness. MARU's setting up a big flank right now. You can see he's splitting the army. Oh, wait, he's sending his whole army to the left. What? Okay, MARU, I'm surprised he hasn't flanked the army. He should be bringing an army around to the bottom side. Oh, Hero! No, don't go out there! Hero, oh, wait, no, it's fine. Hero has the numbers. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Oh, God, that's bad for MARU. There's actually so many Archons in there. EMPs hit some of them, but not enough to actually kill them. The Widow Mines do take out all the Archons at the front. Man, these Widow Mines are the only thing going well for MARU, but it does look like he's pretty much dead. The Observer does get taken out. That's pretty nice, but most of these Widow Mines are gone. Now, Hero only just got his 4th base rebuilt, and he hasn't moved these probes. Hero has been tunnel visioning on the fight as much as we have. You assume a pro player would have looked back and managed his economy. He's finally started his 2-2 upgrades, but he's literally just been all in on this focus. Now, he does have the Warp Prism there. He's got a giant army. MARU is pretty... Yeah, okay. I mean, this is it. He's contained. He's pretty much dead. The Blink never got upgraded. Remember I told you guys he's going to need Blink? These Stalkers do not have Blink. He hasn't started it. Hero is building more Phoenix, more Zealots, trying to make the 2-2 upgrades. The Vikings are going to go after the Warp Prism right now. Archon will deal with those eventually. Colossus are pushing in. And EMP's on the ramp. Very nice EMP's on the ramp, man. But as long as he pulls back here, you can't chase him down that ramp. The Stalkers take out the Vikings. The Colossus are still standing strong. MARU right now is doing a thing only MARU and Clem are capable of, which is where basically they're dead, but they somehow just managed to stay there. I do think Hero should have kept ramp control. I think he could have split one Archon off and then kept everything else there. Oh, the Disruptor gets focused down. MARU's actually going to shove on top. The Colossus were all attacking the SCVs on the left side. Oh my God, Hero! He throws his whole army away. He was focusing down the command center and the SCVs, and MARU literally just stims in a ball, which was getting his units killed all game long. Kills Hero's entire army. Hero has not got... He's only now starting a 2nd Robo. He had no insurance behind this. Only 7 gateways and 1 Robo, despite having map control for this long. He's finally starting a 5th base. Hero literally had this game in the bag. And now he's at less than half the army supply with no ability to reproduce good units. He's making Zealot Archon, which is worthless versus a Bio Ghost army. They are the most worthless units he could be building right now. This is why you need to build extra Robos in these scenarios as the game drags on. Oh man, I mean, he's trying to do a Zealot run by because he realizes Zealots will be effective if he's like backstabbing and stuff, but he can't be fighting front on, not for another minute or two. Hero had this one in the bag. But moving over to that left side, and it felt like there was just a few SCVs. I'm going to rewind and watch that at the end of this game. So I will look at that at the end of this game, guys, to check that fight. I think all of his Colossus were, like, attacking a few SCVs for, like, 2 or 3 extra volleys that should have been hitting the right. And MARU focused down the one Disruptor just before it connected. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm on top of this damaged Protoss army. There's no meat left to it. The Prism had already gone down. Oh, those EMPs! 2 Archons fall. MARU takes down the 3rd one. 1 Colossus and a few weak units. That's all he's got. No battery even here. And MARU, oh my God. He was so dead for so long. And he turns it around and wins game 1. I was saying that only MARU or Clem is able to hang on as long as they do without losing the game. But like, they're still dead in the end of the day, right? But this was it. So the Vikings sniped the Warp Prism on the right side. And, I mean, he had a great position, but because he didn't want to shove too far up the ramp, right? He was like, oh, okay, but I do need to get rid of the mining. If he just split a single unit off, right? If he just splits like 1 Archon, just sends it there, it can kill that whole mineral line. And he can maintain this position. But notice his army is pretty heavily wounded. He doesn't have any shields, and now he's lost the Warp Prism. And he had not followed up for so long. This base was so slow to build on this left side. And then he pulls this whole army. So what the hell happens with his Colossus attacks? So he moves to the left, he clicks the command center. Somehow these SCVs tank so much damage, man. Yeah, I mean, they actually tanked so many shots. So many shots, and the Colossus were really slow to stutter to the left. And that army comes in and just wipes him. It's very rare that SCVs tank that much damage versus Colossus Archon, but somehow they were spread out enough, and all the Colossus Archon shots seem to be hitting like the same couple of SCVs, and it actually works out for MARU really well. What an amazing turnaround for him. And the fact that he did have his 4th base up on the left, where I guess a single Stalker behind that mineral line, 1 Archon here denies that mining. He's going to have to like pick up Medivacs to try to re-secure it, but potentially Hero should have just walked home and added those robos. But so focused on the front, only 7 gateways, 1 robo, and taking forever to rebuild the 4th base. Hero was absolutely clicking with his excitement. He was getting way too horny. He needed to slow down, take a breath, and just fix his macro there. But unfortunately, you know, you win the big giant map, and then you throw it away. This is a terrible way to start a best of 7 for Hero. Alright guys, that was a really rough game 1 for Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Hero. He's going to play a no scout opening here. He just checked his natural for an engineering bay. And MARU going for a kind of proxy barracks outside his base. Now this is meant to have them scout and go, oh, where's the barracks, and freak out. Unfortunately for him, of course, he's not going to get scouted. Hero is just like, nope, don't worry, Cybercore, Nexus, Pylon. Super standard play for me. And I just don't feel like there's enough threat, because MARU doesn't do crazy all-ins that much. He doesn't do his proxy 2 racks. Even though he was trying to troll max packs out at Pigfest with it and that sort of stuff, like, you know, MARU, he doesn't do that much. Hero's not that afraid of it. So Hero's taking these very greedy openings. And I gotta tell you guys, these sort of openings are great. Now, this is very unoptimal, guys. Hero does a lot of suboptimal moves. Trying to long distance mine rather than stacking it on these far patches. They mine at about 50% efficiency here. If you send them to that base, they mine at about 12% efficiency. So this is just Hero. I know MaxPax does the same thing, and I've told him about it, and he's like, oh, it just feels better because I like the 16 out of 16. And I'm like, you're a pro gamer. Play the game properly, guys. Like, listen, listen to the analysis that was done 13 years ago in 2010 when StarCraft 2 first came out, and always prioritize getting up to about 19 or 20 workers on a base before you're going to consider long distance mining. Please. Hellion is building right now. Command Center on the high ground. Starport's on the way as well. We've got the reactor building up there. But the reactor is, of course, quite delayed. And where is that Reaper? Okay, he's coming all the way home. Interesting. Now, it is going to be straight into Blink. Did he actually spot the Twilight, by the way? He didn't. Yeah, so this one, he has no idea that it's Twilight into a second gateway. Now, I'd love to see a Robo go down now as well. Actually, you know what? It would be kind of cool if Hero plays a no Robo build. Notice he's played 2 Adepts as well, so it's not like you can run in, see a Stalker, and go, oh, he's playing Blink. This could be a Stargate opening. So MARU has to dive in here, and he sees the Robo, which already tells him, because that's time to be a second tech structure. Seeing the Twilight just confirms his suspicions here. And he's going to try and take out a probe, but good micro so far by Hero. If that Hellion can scoot around and get that yellow hit point probe, it could finish it off. The Reaper apparently came in as well. The Adept's going to go after the Hellion and the Reaper. Stalker comes out, and it looks like not a single probe. 1 probe goes down just barely. MARU gets something. 2 Widowmine drop coming in behind this. He's going to put on some aggression with that, but Hero's going 4-gate Blink. It's a pretty good map for 4-gate Blink, and actually MARU's building placement is terrible because his barracks was out there. He didn't want to float it all the way back. You want to have buildings here and here. He needs something here to tuck a siege tank behind. As it is, it's wide open, so Stalkers can blink in and ruin his day. MARU needs to keep Hero busy with the Widowmine drop and buy time to get a few siege tanks out, as well as that bunker at the front. And he's doing that right now. He's doing a pretty good job with it. But we'll see how well, of course, Hero handles the Widowmine drop coming in right now from the left side. Hero doesn't see it until right about now. He reacts quickly, but he's going to have to pull those workers away. And, oh, he actually gets a lot of damage on that Medivac. Widowmine does take out 2 probes, but that Medivac's within 2 shots of death, guys. A single Stalker can now deny that. This is kind of best case scenario for Hero. Because now he can send all of his Stalkers except 1 across the map. He's got 4, a Warp Prism. He can warp in 4 more Stalkers very soon. Probably start warping in now even. He's building that another pylon perfectly on time. If you're supply blocked as your Prism arrives to the other side of the map, that is a disaster, but this actually feels pretty good for him. Now, MARU's going Engineering Bay because is he worried about Dark Temple? Engineering Bay before second barracks is a wild choice. That's kind of weird that he built the eBay first. Oh, Hero with an accidental forgetting to cancel there, guys. There is a second siege tank and a big pack of Marines that'll be ready in the main, but like I said, it's going to be wide open here. So it's a little scary. MARU chucks down a random depot in the production. Innovation is somewhere out there disgusted at this depot placement. You can tell he just chucked it down wherever he was. Stalker's going to dive the front. There's only one Marine in the bunker. That bunker does almost no damage, guys. And Hero's just going to focus some SCVs down. He gets a tank. He gets a bunch of SCVs. It costs him a few hit points on his Stalkers, and that's it. Now, MARU has to move the tank to the natural, but now his main's wide open. We talked about this building placement earlier and how much of a problem that is, but Raven does come in, takes out a whole bunch of probes. Hero doesn't care. Hero says, I'm on the warpath right now. I'm a man who is here to kill you right here, right now. Goodbye stim pack, goodbye add-ons on both of those barracks. That starport needs to lift off. That's dead. That starport's dead. There's no way he saves that in time. My lord, that is a lot of damage. This is key infrastructure going down. Another auto turret goes down. Hero is not reacting at all, though. Hero has got a stiffy once again, guys. He's way too excited. Stalker F2A moves on the front. It goes down. He loses 8 probes. He's down to 36 workers. Like, yes, he's ruining MARU's infrastructure, but Hero needs to be careful to not just get too excited and overextend. I think he still should be able to win here, since there's no stim and shields. But okay, the Zealot's going to go in. He's going to try and drop on top of the Marines and the Marauders, but he can't get in range of that siege tank. The Stalkers are trying to micro this out. Looks like he's taken out another one of the barracks. There's only one barracks finished right now. This barracks is going to go down as well. Oh, if he clicks that, that'd be great, but the SCVs do start repairing. Another bunker does go up. MARU has another siege tank on the way. He's got an SCV ready to repair there on the natural. The Stalkers dive on the siege tank. Hero here just playing like an absolute savage, man. Dude, he's just shoving it in with reckless abandon. This man, there's a reason they call him the Glory Protoss, and it's definitely because he finds the holes in his opponent's defenses. The Raven comes into this killing even more probes, but I don't think it matters if your main base is being ransacked like this. There is a third behind this. I mean, there's part of me that says, surely you got to make a Stalker at home to defend your base. But Hero says, dude, Stalker at home, I don't need that. Get out of here, man. My Stalkers are just way too many. We are going to roll over your base and get on in there and smash face, man. GG, well played. Hero fighting back there with a very nice 4-gate blink. And MARU's hidden proxy racks, unfortunately for him, not getting any reaction out of his opponent. So great build order matchup for Hero to tie up the series. All right, guys, let's go next game. MARU, sick of his opponent not scouting, he's going to proxy a barracks right outside Hero's base. But Hero is going for this weird, like, low ground gate into a proxied second gate. Oh, man, this could be terrible for MARU. Now, maybe MARU stitches something together and pulls this out, but this feels like a disastrous matchup because you've got a gateway at home to defend his proxy barracks. And you've got a gateway that's going to rally units in. Now, the one thing that could work for MARU is, well, you are playing double gas. So you're going to go factory on the high ground and probably a command center up here as well, which is going to work out for you. Oh, the probe sees the barracks. Hero says, whoa, hold on a second. What the hell, buddy? He's going to try to come in with that SCV already finished. Reaper is on the way. He's going to start a Zealot, is Hero. Obviously, Cybercore's on the way there as well. And with this build, you don't need a second pylon. You've already built it at the front super duper early. But I think MARU also is like, wait a second. I didn't see, you know, MARU's got to be like, I didn't see you scout, right? So if you didn't scout, and we can see he didn't, he never came down here, but I saw a probe heading home, well, he should know he's being proxied. So MARU, if he's, and I mean, he especially now knows that he's being proxied because his SCV goes in and sees. But we've got an Adept on the way, Zealot's guarding the mineral line. Hero, and a bunker going up at home. Yeah, and look at this. MARU is like literally just going home. He's like, yep, let's not mess around. I am in peril, mortal peril right now. And he immediately goes back, gets to the bunker. And I think they both just have to expand. Just remember, guys, this is Hero. So Hero knowing when to rein it in and calm down, that's not in his skill set. And he's still rallying Adepts, which makes no sense, guys. Guys, rallying Adepts against a guy who you know has a bunker, like, he should honestly just cancel those Adepts and go home. And build a Nexus right now. Because Adepts are never going to breach that ramp. I mean, you can delay him taking the natural, but that's only effective if you've got your own natural up. So there we go. He does. He cancels the Adept. Okay. Hero realizes he cancels that Adept. I think he canceled that one as well. So he's only built 2 Adepts, 1 Zealot. That's much better for Hero. He took a few seconds to do it, so I was really worried Hero was just going to do that thing where he just keeps making Adepts and headbutts into a ramp of Cyclone Bunker. And you're like, what? Stalkers can maybe break a ramp. Adepts never can because they do such bad damage versus buildings. Obviously, buildings are not light units, which is the reason. But they are armored, which is why the Stalkers do great damage, guys. Armored mechanical structure tags on those. Oh, Adept and Zealot are there. Reaper's allowed to freely scout the Nexus and walk away. That's a little sloppy. from Hero, but he's got a Stargate on the way. And what's interesting is that's such a late Stargate as well. Now, the Adepts should be able to deny the Scout, maybe even grab one of these Reapers. And look at that. Oh, very nice. He's going to get at least one of them. And in fact, both of them should be going down. Notice he redirects the Shades there. And the Phoenix have been spotted, but it's kind of delayed Phoenix. He's already building Cyclones, so that's not too bad. Comes out, depowers the Gateway. Who's ahead and who's behind in this scenario? Well, economically, Maru's in a pretty fine position because he's equal in workers. But he's only now floating the command center down, and it's not morphed into an orbital yet. He's also very low on production. Notice he's got one tech lab, but he doesn't even have a reactor yet. He's only now building it and his second barracks. However, compare that to the other side, and you lose one of your 2 gateways already, right? As Hero, he's trying to go Robo. He's trying to go like Phoenix Colossus again, I guess, similar to game 1. But, oh, you don't want to be losing that. Does take a bit of damage on that Phoenix on the right side. Viking on the way, Widowmine as well. Very conservative bunker placement for Maru. This tells us Maru's not trying to like completely control the front. He's trying to just create a wedge of defense here. A sort of centralized location, right? Depots here as well. So if Stalkers come blinking in, you could have like a tank somewhere on this ramp there, or even tucked down here, and it's kind of hard for the opponent to get at. And Hero, he's kind of scouring the map, making sure there's no proxy out there. No units on the map trying to get him or drops sneaking by. Third gas is on the way. It's just 2 Phoenix. And that 4th gas, not mining just yet, starts to transfer onto it now. Phoenix coming in. They managed to pick off the SCV that was building the engineering bay. Units lost tab does look good for Hero. He's up 10 workers right now. But can he move that into a 3rd base? Because usually with this sort of very tech-heavy build, you can't afford a 3rd for a while. You've got Robo Bay, 2nd Gateway coming in. Maru's going to have time to get these 3 barracks upgrades. He's going to catch up. They're both going to be around equal workers. And then it's going to be Maru's very late 3rd base that will put him a little bit behind. So there's a kind of a seesaw in the economy. The Raven is going to be gathering all of that. The factory swapped off the tech lab earlier. Now it swaps back onto it. And nice cramped little base here. +1 attacks on the way. Stim, no doubt combat shields is going to be happening with that 100 gas. There we go, starts up. And just lots of Marines for now. Maru even building depots. Makes me think he's a bit paranoid about Blink, but he really shouldn't be because it's Phoenix. And Phoenix Blink is incredibly rare. I guess this does help just kind of creating choke points for later on when there's Warp Prisms dropping Zealots. We'll have to see how it goes. Adepts do get spotted shading out. Seeing the Immortal and the Sentries, the quick gases, Maru can surmise that this is Colossus play. And he is continuing tank production. I wonder if he goes into early Vikings after, say, his first 4 medevacs as well. Trying to clear up the gateway. Still hasn't built a single medevac yet. Maru, of course, just starving for resources this early in the game. Trying to get that 4th gas up now. And his first medevac only now beginning. It's a bit of a scuffed position to be in because he really wants tanks to counter the Colossus, but he's also like, I need gas. And he can't really afford to build any Marauders yet. He's got 2 of them, but he's only building Marines because he just has no extra gas to work with. On the other side of things, Hero has not made a Twilight or a Forge just yet. It's purely Phoenix, Colossus, and a couple of basic units. Adepts out on the map, a couple of Sentries, a couple of Zealots, an Immortal. Stalker warping in. Stalker's warping in, it seems kind of random to me. Not really sure the purpose of that. Especially when you've got Phoenixes as well, but I guess he just wants any raw ranged damage. And Cyclones, Viking, and Raven moving on around that map, trying to see what they can get. I feel like he's going to build a 3rd on location behind this, but I also feel like maybe he's just going to bring some SCVs and build bunkers, because that 3rd is just so late for Maru, and he doesn't know that the 3rd for Hero is so late. He can probably guess it, but he might feel like he has to go kill his opponent. He might feel a lot more pressure than he's actually under right now. Hero's economy is not that good, but his tech is fantastic. The lack of a Twilight and a Forge does hurt him, though. Lots of gateways coming up for Hero right now. Hero seems to think this game will be decided right here, right now. And I think he's right to figure that out. I think he realizes, yeah, here we go. So not bunkers, actually turrets, which makes sense. Turrets deal with Phoenix Colossus really well. Maru doing a very big slow push. And this is the scenario where your Phoenix need to fly across the map. The moment you see them building turrets, unless you're going to engage right now, he's going to engage right now. He's going to go for it. Oh, he picks up some tanks, but they are getting dropped so quickly. An interference matrix shuts down 2 of those Colossus. This is so good for Maru. He even saved some of the Marines that were force fielded in the corner. The 3 Colossus may survive, but the Immortals, I mean, it goes down. There's still 3 Colossus up, but what do you got with those Colossus? A couple of Stalkers and a single Phoenix. No answer to the Vikings. I would have liked to see Hero try and cut off the reinforce with the Phoenix and take his time with it. Because he was going no Twilight, he didn't have like a charge upgrade that he could wait for. Normally you wait for a charge upgrade and that's when you break. That's when you break out and flank their push. But on just Colossus and Gateway units, he knew his position was actually getting worse than Maru's, not better. He doesn't have the mobility except for those Phoenix, which are now all gone. I don't know, man. It's just a good push from MARU. These sort of really committed 2-base pushes are so dangerous to commit to as the Terran player, but when you catch a Protoss who's just on Phoenix Colossus with a couple of crappy Gateway units, they don't have charge coming in, they don't have any of that more maneuverable and also just amazing versus Siege Tank addition of Charge Zealots, there's not much the Protoss player can do from there. The Colossus are still alive, but they've been microing their hearts out. The Phoenix running in and just dying and trying to move the Colossus down that ramp ain't working too well. Gets the Cyclone and then Marauder with the Disruptor shot. Does save it with the Prism, which is nice. But man, even these minerals are a problem because that's creating a nice little blockage and the tanks going to inch their way forward. Oh, the Vikings take out a Colossus. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. He doesn't even have energy to drop battery overcharge right now. And I think that battery might get depowered. Actually, I think it's in range of that pylon on the left. Oh, okay, this is a disaster. Hero is deep in the doo-doo right now. If you can't cut off their reinforce, this sort of push is unstoppable, man. Oh my god, especially with slow Zealots. MARU punishing the Phoenix Colossus style tank production, Viking production. A fantastic push from MARU and a really good way to counter Hero style. Alright guys, let's go into the next game. Hero sending one of his first probes across the map. He says, okay, let's start scouting at the very start. And MARU, down here in the bottom left, right of Gresfin, going for a Barracks gas. Looks like a standard expand build, unless he takes that gas right now. Nope. Once it gets past a minute, it's kind of too late to take that second gas for any double gas kind of quick factory opening. Behind this, Hero is going double gas before expand. Hello, are we going? It's Proxy Oracle. So this is his Proxy Oracle build, guys. Let's see. Where has he clicked it? Okay, he's clicked it here. Yeah. So he's gonna go Proxy and Oracle there while expanding, and we'll see if MARU can defend it. I feel like Proxy Oracle is one of those builds that it seems like it shouldn't have a great win rate, but I even copied this build off Hero a bunch, and I realized that like it's quite deep the understanding of what to do in these situations. So there are games where you lose your first Oracle to a Widow Mine or a Cyclone and it falls flat. But there are games where like it seems like you don't get much damage done because the Cyclone's ready, but you pull out, and then the 2 Oracles come and you kill the Cyclone, and everything spirals out of control for the Terran. You know, there's times where you just keep rallying units, and it does that. And there's also times where Hero has gotten his opponents paranoid about the threat of future Oracles. He just builds 1 Oracle, and he goes blank. And a lot of Terrans, because they've dealt with him building 3 or 4 Oracles and diving in and killing their Cyclones and doing all this crazy stuff, they keep building Cyclones. So they're on like 3 Cyclones, 2 Vikings, paranoid as all heck. And guess what? Those units suck against Blink Stalkers, and he comes in and kills them. So Hero, you know, for him, it's all about putting his opponent into a very defensive mindset and being afraid of the many big gambles that he is always willing to take. And right now, that probe already kept him at home. MARU has no idea what's happening, so he's just building a bunker. Oh, he's doing the Gumiho. He's building 2 Marines, guys. I'm never a big fan of this. I always prefer going the early reactor. Zealot and Adept coming across. The Nexus is, of course, very delayed. Normally this goes down at about 1:40. It's going to be more close to 2:40. And Zealot comes in. It's going to get defended by those 2 Marines and that Reaper. It's taking a lot of damage, but the Adept is here. Should keep it alive for now. Oracle's being chrono boosted behind this. The Zealot is doing some good job of tanking. And already 1 Marine goes down. And he's going to lose another Marine. Oh, gets it. Nice move by Hero. Now you might think, well, that's a good trade. 2 Marines for a Zealot and an Adept. That's a great trade. But is it? No, because you've just lost all of your units that shoot up and there's an Oracle coming in. MARU, and you can't really mass out repair an Oracle's damage. It's so good. MARU's just going to have to run his SCVs and build Marines. And if he wins this game, MARU is a wizard. Because this Oracle, yeah, it doesn't have that much energy. It should still kill at least 7 SCVs. Let's see. It is 3 shots. It's not as, you know, SCV is much stronger than probes or drones. But man, he's not even going to run his SCVs? And the Adept's in the natural as well. I mean, that Adept will get taken out. But dude, not pulling the SCVs has got to be a mistake, right? Oh my lord. 9 SCVs? Oh, MARU may be regretting not scouting now in this game. Does get a Widow Mine in that mineral line, but I'm sure Hero saw that, right? He was paying. He's gonna sacrifice it. He drags it onto the Marines. Oh, YOLO Lord Hero himself drags the Widowmine onto the Marines and the SCVs. So the second Oracle coming in with the energy can one-shot everything. The Widowmine and the SCVs running around right now. Oh my lord. Dude, this is not the sort of tanning salon you want to go to as a Terran player. He gets 3 probes on the counterattack, but the Adepts come in. 5 probes, actually. Not bad damage. Somehow he's only down 5 workers, and he's got double mules dropping versus a natural that's only just got up for hero. But I mean, there's another Oracle about to pop out. The Viking. Oh, good move, good move. Look at this. And notice he doesn't shoot it straight away. He gets pretty close to it before he starts shooting. Oh, sexy moves here for MARU. Unfortunately for him, hero is a bit of a mad lad. Oh, no, he doesn't dive? He could have dove there. He could have dove. The Viking was too far out, but I guess he knew that there would be a cyclone soon, so it would have been a bit too risky. He's going to wait to regen his shields. We've got some Adepts coming in as well. MARU right now is trying to staunch the flow of Protoss that are coming in, but I'm telling you, he's going to need an ultra jumbo bloody defense to try and stop this. This is a heavy flow of Protoss. It's going to be disgustingly hard to stop. And what's he got? A Widowmine, a Cyclone, a couple of Marines. He's having to abandon his natural for now, which is fine because he doesn't have many workers. The Viking's going to try to do counter aggression. This is cute. I think trying to like get hero out of position and distract him is great. Very good reaction by MARU. Doesn't lose the Viking. He can at least fly that home as well. But Blink is on the way for hero. Hero is a little supply block, but not too badly. The Adepts continuing to shade on forwards. Another Widowmine's out. That's going to guard the main base. Very well done. Hiding that behind the refinery. Very hard to see. Remember, hero can't see that blue outline that we can see. Third Nexus will no doubt be going up in the near future, but for now it's going to be 4 gate. So 4 gate Blink, interesting. 2 Oracles on the map, 3 Adepts out front. Viking's going to scout the lack of a third. Go for the probe? Yeah, he's going to go for it. MARU says no third base for you, dickhead. And he's going to take down that probe. 2 shots it and gets on out of there. Very well played. Oh, the Adepts shade in! Hero! Keep it in your pants, buddy. Oh man, 3 Adepts for like 1 or 2 Marines? That's not a good trade. He's got good stasis traps outside the base, but like, where's the third base? Hero went 4 gate Blink, but he hasn't actually got the 4 gate and the Blink up at a good time. So this to me feels like Hero is got a very sloppy follow-up here. I know 4 gate Blink is the standard follow-up to Proxy Oracle, but when you've already committed to a few Oracles, like 3 Oracles like this, and your Blink so late in your gateways, it's a little dicey. Let's see, can it work though? Yeah, I mean, he can spot the high ground, he can blink in. There's no siege tank in the high ground. It's a pretty good building placement. That Widowmine should not go so far forward. You should want it further back, I would generally say, but we'll see. Ooh, okay, tag it. When he's ready to go in, he's going to tag that, shoot that down. Actually, he might just blink past to disable it. Or he can just hit the natural. Oh god, oh god, oh god, the siege tank's just too exposed. MARU, oh man, he's got to keep those siege tanks further back. You have to be so conservative versus hero, man. He's such a savage with those focus fires. Auto turret comes down, but guess what? He just takes it down. Hero says, no worries, dude. Massive damage for me. I've got probing on a third base going. Obviously not non-stop because my name's Hero and I'd much rather just keep warping in stalkers and killing you. But already taking out one of the siege tanks. Now, MARU needs to tuck this siege tank back over here, I would say. That's the perfect position right there. No, that's way too far forward, MARU. That's way too far forward, bro. Keep it in your pants, mate. Yeah, you need to have your tanks further back. That one's okay because his Marines are guarding it, but this tank on the high ground is a bit too far forward. But it's going to get some big shots off. Oh, Hero dives in. That tank on the high ground actually landing some big shots. You can see why he put it there. It's because he knew Hero is a crazy person who's going to throw 7 stalkers into the meat grinder. MARU sets up his meat grinder, turns it on. That was some Home Alone stuff right now. Hero needs to calm down. He doesn't want to throw this game away. He's got a very good position. I mean, this is good damage. But you don't want to be like a silly cartoon villain, you know? You don't want to be getting hit in the head by a can of paint or anything like that. Pressing a doorbell that has a pin stuck in it or whatever. Stalkers. Oh my god, Hero, get out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hero's lost 10 Stalkers now. He's still way ahead. He's still in a great position. But he's going 6 gas charge off just 4 gateways. Okay, he's going 6 gates now. Definitely feels like a bit of a sloppy follow-up though. And, he's rallying Zealots to the front, which doesn't make any sense until Charge is done. But I guess once Charge is ready, he might still just be able to win the game. MARU doesn't have a critical mass of bio, guys. He's going to try and send a single Marine drop out right now, and it just is a gift. Oh, my lord. Dropping presents. Was that a medevac, or was that Santa Claus and his sleigh? Because that was exactly what Hero wanted. A free juicy kill there. There's still only 12 Marines on the map. Charge Zealots are going to get in on top of those tanks so quickly. And if they can drag the siege tank shots away from the Stalkers, that'll be massive. MARU, he's got a third command center up. He's on turtle mode. And that is exactly what he needs to do. Just survive. Survive! Siege tank's a bit exposed at the front. Hero, a rare moment of caution, manages to calm down. Phoenix are building right now as well. Why are you building? He's going to pick up the tanks. He's going to pick up the tanks with the Phoenix, is he? Or he'll just go after the Raven, maybe. Hero rallying Phoenix in. I'm telling you, sometimes this man looks like Alpha Star with the way he plays, where you're like, only an AI would think to randomly keep building Phoenix here. He's like, well, I have a production facility. I can't just let it sit there idle. And you know what? I actually have enough APM and brain power to think about how I'm using those Phoenix, even though most players are just going to tunnel vision on the other units. Viking lands. It's going to get citizens arrested, but not without taking down a whole lot of them. Oh my lord. It's like letting a man with a knife on bloody PCP into a kindergarten. It doesn't end well for the kindergarten kids. Stalkers, Iron Zealots are too many though. Phoenix lifting up the units on the high ground. MARU with a valiant effort to survive. But Hero was just all over it, and those Oracles just got way too much damage done from the start. The fact that MARU survived to that point is a testament to MARU's greatness. But Hero does tie up the series. Alright guys, let's get into game number 5 on Ancient Cistern. It's a big map, it's a tough map for MARU, because that main base is wide open for 4-gate blink, and you've got a big push path, so it's hard to get across the map. Hero on the top right side. On the other hand, I see Protoss lose a crazy amount on this supposedly good for them map against Terran. And the reason is very specific. It's because they don't see the push coming across the map. There are like 5 different ways you can move across this map, and it's hard to keep vision on all of them. So I feel like so often I see that the Protoss player is out here with their army, and the Terran's already skipped down the south side, and he's appeared at their base, and he's got a good position, and the Protoss just dies. So I really feel sharp timing attacks that can kind of be a little elusive and surprise the Protoss with the angle they come from can be very effective. Now, of course, Hero's going low ground gate, which means he's looking to chrono units across this map. MARU is doing a 1-Rax expand build. We know that because he doesn't have a second gas. Does quickly pull one Drilly Boy to defend the honor of that SCV that was constructing. Seeing no second gas, I think Hero's already thinking, great, no worries. He is a little late to get down there with the probe, but that's okay. As long as he builds the Cybercore at the back rather than in the wall, that's all good. And it's PvT, so you don't really need a wall off. Nexus will go down next. This probe being very annoying on the other side of the map. I'm surprised he isn't staying in there, but I guess MARU's already decided to go high ground command center, hasn't he? And Hero's like, well, if there's no SCV here, yeah, you must be doing that. Now, MARU, you got 400 minerals. MARU is tilted right now, guys. He's at 500 minerals, 530 minerals, 570 minerals. MARU, what are you doing, buddy? MARU's brain has just broken, guys. He's at, what the hell? He's trying to, maybe he's trying to play some ultimate mind. I think MARU's had a brain fart, guys. And now he builds the command center. This is the dumbest mind game I've ever seen, surely. So basically, he's faking that he has a second barracks out hidden somewhere. Because as Hero, you see one gas. It has to either be multiple barracks or a command center. Now, the question is, this is the smartest thing ever if Hero takes the bait and then starts playing really paranoid and cuts probes and is freaking out. But if he just plays a completely standard game from here and he's like, I'll just scout a bit with my Zealot, but otherwise play normal, it did not work. And playing this sort of mind game with Hero is very dangerous because Hero is super weird as a player where he sometimes just will completely disrespect what you're doing, but he does go straight Robo, which is pretty safe. He's got 2 attacks out in his Zealot and he's immediately making a Stalker. So he's had no breaks in his gateway production, even though he's not chrono boosting them that hard. He's definitely playing a little safer than normal. Is that worth building your command center a solid 45 seconds late? I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. This command center was so late, it is insanely inefficient. Now he's going 3 command centers behind it on the map, which excels with 4-gate blink. But you're going Robo, not Twilight. So you can't really 4-gate blink from here, right? He's just going to do a Prism 3-gate harass. I don't think Hero's going to like all in with this and go for like a 5 or 6-gate Prism attack. That's an option. It's interesting. MARU has questionable openings sometimes because he's so tricky with his openings. It does make him very dangerous as a player, but I also think sometimes I'm like, I don't know, this seems like it's a very risky play. Maybe he doesn't have faith on this map, so he figures, hey, if I'm going to throw out a weird gamble to throw my opponent off and maybe get a victory, this is the map to do it. I like when players gamble. I think it's a good choice, but yeah, definitely interesting. I mean, no third and fourth gas, so Hero is going to go third Nexus into Twilight Forge by the looks of it. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I mean, Hero's playing a bit paranoid, but the problem, I mean, Maru's got, what, a Cyclone, he's going to have a Viking. I mean, those will shut down the Warp Prism. Do not throw this Warp Prism away, Hero. Kill 1 or 2 SCVs and then get out of there. But a Cyclone and a Viking is kind of the answer to this already. Uh-oh. 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 Get out! No, he's dead. Oh my god. Okay, he's just got to kill as much as he can. Can he get 1 more SCV? Maru micros it away 4 SCVs. That's a terrible trade, guys. Maru's like, haha, I tricked you into doing a Warp Prism. I mean, there's no way he knew that was going to be a Warp Prism. He was probably expecting Stargate, but now he's building Raven and extra barracks, as well as siege tanks. And you know what? Charge first! Hero is so confused about what's happening in this game. He thinks there's an early push coming, guys. He saw Cyclone Viking and he's like, oh god, you're going to do one of these Cyclone Viking Marine pushes because you thought I was playing Stargate and now you killed the Prism, so you're going to do it. So I need fighting units right now. I need Charge and Mass Gateway. So he's playing Mass Gateway Charge with no upgrades, no blink, no tech. And he's going to... Okay, this Observer needs to figure out what's happening. But there's a Raven and a Viking which could deny it. Hero is still kind of confused about what's happening in this game. You know what's funny though? Stim and Shields are always so late with 3 Command Center builds. Maru might just do the thing we were talking about in game 1. Move out to take the third and just die to Protoss units attacking because you can't defend the third base. Because like Hero's in such a bad position right now because he's absolutely been tricked. I was criticizing the mind game because it felt so inefficient, but look at it. It's paid off, guys. And sometimes you have to play inefficiently and sacrifice playing the most perfectly streamlined play to trick your opponent. That's what he's done. Hero's economy is crap. He's at 41 probes right now, and he's making mass charge. Now, the Marine here, seeing these probes trying to go for that third, you already sense this is a bit of a gimped position. It's 6 minutes, and he doesn't have a saturated third. He's just transferring some workers over now. The problem for Maru is, does he realize that that slow Zealot indicates something? Because there was one Zealot in the early game, right? There was a Zealot in the early game, which is Reaper's Saw. So it doesn't necessarily indicate that much. And oh my god, no stim, no shit. It's a lot of Zealots. It's a lot of Zealots. Hero's just YOLOing. It's a crazy charge lot timing of 40 workers here to get the 6.5 minute mark. SCV hold position, try to hold the line. The Raven and the Viking are surviving. That Viking needs to land. The Marines are putting up a good effort. You can lose a lot of SCVs and still be okay, but Maru, okay, the tank there firing as well. He's got to go down there and reclaim his natural. He cannot lose that command center, man. That's the one thing that keeps him in an okay position. He's got to repair the command center, but he doesn't want to move off his ramp right now. That command center needs to run away. The Stalkers are focusing it. Hero right now. He's got the command center in his sights. He takes it down. More Zealots coming in. A lot of them are still attacking buildings on the other side. The Stalkers are going after the siege tank. The tank moved way too far down. He should have kept that one on the high ground. The Marines and the Marauders getting overrun. Hero with an absolutely nonsense Zealot timing. So weird, so inefficient. But you know what? Maru tricked him into playing a weird, crappy style and then died to the weird, crappy timing. That was mind games into Hero going, I kind of need to trade right now. I've totally misread this game. I need to go. Let's see if we can make something of it. And he manages to clinch the victory. GG, well played. All right, making the best of a weird situation. Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Hero loses his drop, realizes he has to gamble and go for Mass Zealot to defend whatever attack is coming. Realizes the attack isn't coming, and he just keeps cutting probes. A lot of players would have instinctively, when their observers saw that their opponent was just defending, they would have turtled up, but not Hero. Hero said, I'm already too far behind economically. I've already got like 5 gateways, and I'm pumping Zealots and charge. Let's make 8 gateways and just go for it. And it was a pretty clean attack. Like, it actually worked quite well. It found that window pre-stim where Maru is so vulnerable to it. Siege tanks not very helpful versus Zealots at all. So the tanks and the Cyclones are nearly useless versus Zealots, as are the Vikings. All the tech units are just not that good. It's all about critical massive Marine Marauder to defend a Zealot attack. And, well, Maru was starting to get a bit of bio up, but he needed a little bit longer and maybe just give him 30 seconds to a minute to get stim and shields. Maru looks great in that game, but he gets caught off. The mind game doesn't pay off. And interestingly, he's doing another 1-Rax expand here on Babylon. Hero also going back to not scouting. Now that he's up a game, Hero only needs this one map to win. And this map is going to be a very good map for MARU. I think the series will be decided on Royal Blood, which is interesting that that one's been left to the final map. But assuming that MARU can win this map, which is Terran favored, I think Royal Blood is, a lot of people say it's really good for Terran versus Zerg. I don't know how good it is for Terran versus Protoss. MARU's going high ground command center to be conservative. And I think Hero might just play that Phoenix Colossus style again. I know Showtime's looked very good with Stargate styles on this map. We'll see how it goes. Adept Warp Gate on the way. If anyone can turn the disadvantage of the short rush distance on the map to their advantage, it's going to be Hero. You know, normally it's like, oh god, Terran pushes arrive so fast, but I feel like Hero is also very good at counter-attacking across the map and shoving. Cut a probe there for just a few seconds to get that super fast Twilight Council. This is a Dark Templar drop, I believe, guys. I think Hero's gambling on a Dark Templar drop, which can actually just straight up win the game. I mean, this is one of those things where it's a very fragile opening, but I think that's what he's going for. It doesn't have to be that. But yeah... Oh, he did go Warp Gate before Twilight. We'll see. Oh, he clicked it. Maybe he is going Blink. Stalker starts. Okay, no, it is just Blink. Never mind. Just felt like an abnormally quick Twilight, but I guess he just wants that fast Blink up. Twilight does get spotted. Good Reaper Scout there. Adepts at the front, sees the command center, reactor on the barracks. This tells you this looks like a pretty straightforward game, pretty standard so far. Second gateway at the front for Hero. And no doubt a robo to follow it up in the near future. Problem with this build for Hero is that you don't get scouting for quite a while. Your robo doesn't finish till about 4 minutes. You then have to start an observer, send it across the map, and about 5 minutes you know what the Terran's doing. And, well, we all know Terran can already have a Widow Mine dropping your base by then. They already could be doing a very quick tank push and have it arriving on your side of the map by 5 minutes. But you've got Blink. You've got multiple gateways. You know, overall, you do have a pretty good setup. So it's not too bad for Hero. I'd actually like to see Hero play 2-gate or 3-gate into a third base. And so far, let's find out. If he drops 2 gateways right now, he could still 4-gate Blink, but with this pylon down here, it looks like a third base setup. Widow Mine drop coming forwards. Adept Shade sees it! He gets a glimpse. Does he react? Let's go to Hero's vision, guys. Hero does not seem to notice. Oh, maybe he does. He's moving those Stalkers up there. Stalkers on control group 1. Interesting. Oh, third base getting denied. Very nice move there by the Reaper. And, okay, let's go to Hero's camera once more. That Widow Mine drop's about to come in. He's staring. He's staring. He's staring. He's watching for it. Oh! Oh, very good interception. Luckily, MARU turns around. Doesn't take 2 minutes damage. Only takes 2 shots on that Medevac. That could have been a lot worse. And the Reaper comes back in. The Adept says, leave! It's my third base, idiot. Tanks and Ravens on the way. Extra barracks are being built right now. Second barracks and the engineering bay. Yeah, MARU loves the very quick engineering bay. I find that fascinating. It's very interesting. He loves that quick engineering bay. He always gets a very quick +1 attack. But I don't know if he goes straight for +1 armor or not. Now, third and fourth gas are coming up for Hero, which tells us he probably, yeah, he wants to play Colossus. But he's making so many Stalkers. That's delaying his robo base significantly. If you're relying on Colossus, you need at least 1 out when the first push comes. And he doesn't have the robo base started. Now he's building gateways. Hero's build orders, as always, confuse the heck out of me, guys. That feels like a very late robo bay. I gotta say, that is a little bit slow. Feels like, I don't know. Keep our eyes on the follow-up here. Wait, he's just massing gateways? Why is he on 4 gas? Just for sentries. Oh, he's just going to play Heavy Sentry Immortal. Ah, okay. So he's going to play Heavy Sentry Immortal. We do need Charge to start up in the near future as well with this style, because you do need those Zealots to support. Ooh, whoa, Hero! Oh my god! So slow on pulling those probes. He literally just wants to give me a heart attack. And he's like, no, dude, it was calculated. Only lost 2 probes. Perfect hold. Anyone out there that's not Hero had a heart attack for him, and Hero's just there like, yeah, that's what I always do. It's fine. No worries, man. I embrace heart attack inducing situations. The medevac does get out of there. Big push building. 5 barracks. MARU's going all in, guys. MARU is going to commit to a huge 2-base push. He's got 2 tanks, a Raven, all these beautiful units out. There's a lot of Stalkers at the front, but this is such a small map. Having a heavy Stalker count is not very effective on this map. Having more raw fighting units is... Where is the charge? He's forgotten charge, guys! He's already started warping in Zealots. He's going up to 7 gateways, but he's forgotten to make charge. Hero! Oh, man. Hero, please make charge right now. He's probing really hard. He's going all the way to like 60 pros versus a 2 base all in, which is more than you need. He's not building pylons or charge right now. He's building a battery in his main. Hero needs to right now realize what's going on. His charge is not... I don't think you can hold this without charge, guys. The tank's going to move down. Very safe move out here for MARU. The Raven almost gets one shot. Great move by Hero. Observer uses that to get out of there. The Stalker's pulling back as the stim comes forward. Concussive Shells is almost ready, so he's got to be cautious. Hallucinated Phoenix going in. There's an Immortal building. There's still no pylons building. He built 1 pylon, but that's it. Hero is going to be supply blocked and doesn't have charge when this push is coming. There's just no way. He's dead. He's dead, guys. The Stalkers are going to blink in. He's doing cute counterattacks, but he's warping in slow Zealots. He doesn't realize. He's only got 7 gates as well. He hasn't built enough production. Nice force fields to stop the first wave, but the double Cuck Matrix comes down. Those Immortals just left standing there, unable to fire right now. And these units being very frustrating. The Zealot Stalker in the main is doing what it can. Hero still is just making slow Zealots. He finally starts charge as the push is up in his base. Oh, I mean, there's just nothing. The Immortals are in the open. The Zealots offer no threat whatsoever. Imagine holding a bloody machine gun and having a dude walking slowly towards you with a knife in each hand. I've watched enough police brutality and shooting videos and all that messed up stuff on the dark side of YouTube to know what happens. This is not a good situation, man. This is really bad. He just doesn't have the numbers. I think Hero was really well set up off his early game, but he needed to get charge here. He's in a big problematic situation, and those Stalkers are going to have an issue. I guess not police brutality, it's the suicide by cop is what they call that, isn't it? But anyways, messed up stuff. Try not to watch that stuff anymore. Hero just messing up some of the fundamentals, unfortunately. He could have had a 4-2 here, I really feel. But MARU with fantastic execution, a nice decisive push. And this is always hard to stop on these small maps. It's not like Hero would have necessarily won if he got charged, but definitely a huge mistake to make. And no doubt he thought he upgraded it and didn't realize he just didn't have the money or something like that. Big mistakes for Hero. MARU's going to really punch on through and do very well. And GG, well played. MARU taking us to game 7. All right, guys. MARU in the bottom left side of Royal Blood. This series will be decided here, and oh my god. Guys, he's doing a proxy 2 racks, and Hero sent a probe straight across the map. This is a disaster. This is so bad for MARU. Immediately, Hero should know what's up. He sees no gas, he sees missing SCVs, and he's got a gateway in the back. He did not build it on the natural, which is good for him. It means it's not exposed. And MARU immediately realizes this is a terrible move. So he takes a gas, he sends one SCV home since he sees no low ground gate, and he's like, well, okay, I'm just going to do a scuffed Reaper opening, I guess. So he takes a second gas reactively, but this is a fantastic start for Hero going into Game 7, sending a scout across the very start of the map is something he loves to do. And MARU has been leaning into this proxy 2 racks way too much recently with that series against MaxPax as well. This is going to be a really weird start for him. And I like the fact... Oh, eBay block. Okay, that's a good way of salvaging it. I like this move. I think this is really smart for MARU. He sends the SCV back in, goes for the eBay block, and that at least is going to mess up Hero's opening. So I think if you mess your opponent up enough, you don't go back to completely standard play, it's all right. But his orbital was delayed about 12 seconds for that. So it's not like this is free. He's lost a lot of mining time. Hero calmly going to move out and take a third base. MARU sees it, though. And he can cancel his engineering bay right now. He's going to build a bunker. Okay, MARU might need to pop it back in his pants a little bit. Cancels the engineering bay. He's pulled off gas. Factory starts at 1:58 at home. It's a pretty late factory for a 1-base opening. It's about 10 to 15 seconds slower than normal. But Reaper coming out. He's going to rally Marines as well. If he can get a few Marines in the bunker, that could be great. But it feels like a huge gamble for MARU. I know this isn't an ideal situation, but MARU is so much better than Hero in the long game. I'd love to see him slow things down and just play a really, calm, slow, methodical game. Q has been doing that a lot and giving Hero a lot of trouble. Oh, you cannot lose this Reaper. No, you're going to go straight south. No, MARU, he loses his Reaper. That is a disaster. Bad micro and pathing there for MARU. He floats the barracks home. He's got 1 Marine in a bunker. Having a Reaper there, though, would have massively added to the damage. Hellion's on the way. He could try to bypass while the bunker's distracting, run the Hellion in the main and do damage. That is an option. But so far, I feel like, look at this. Yeah, he's just going to build a battery there. That pylon is getting focused. Good call by MARU to put on a bit more pressure. But as the Stalkers come forward, of course, he's not even going to attack the Stalkers. He's just staying on the pylon. I think he should try to salvage this bunker now, though, for sure. He's going to try to run the Marine away, salvage the bunker. Good call by MARU to get something back. But remember, he does not have a barracks at home building it out on. His command center has just started. And what's he got right now? He's got a single broom car with a flamethrower. And it's a bad start for him. Hero has a scuffed third base. But Hero wisely is going straight 3-gate robot. Hero's going to try to kill him with Prism and Gateway units, guys. Hero right now senses weakness. He smells blood in the water. Unfortunately, he gets a bit excited. Oh my god! Oh my god! There's nothing anywhere nearby. There's no recall energy. This Hellion is going to ruin Hero's entire economy. 7 probes go down, but on the other hand, Hero runs in, sacrifices. He brought probes to set off the Widow Mines. He sacrifices the probes to take the Widow Mine shots, but MARU with the mass repair manages to keep it alive. It takes out the Stalker. There's still 2 Stalkers behind it. Their Hellion finally goes down after killing 9 probes, but there's no bunker. He's got nothing but SCVs. This is an absolute poop shoot of a game. But you know, when it comes down to being a bit of a poop shoot, guys, a shit show as some call it, it's all about who has more experience when that stuff hits the fan. And right now, MARU is trying to duck and cover, and Hero is embracing it, standing in that glorious brown shower and saying, I will dance in the rain, mother trucker. These Stalkers dancing around the base. 7 SCVs have gone down, but he's still in there causing trouble. The Banshee will come out and deal with this in a moment. The Mule is still alive. Great pullback by MARU. Saves the SCV and the Mule. And the Stalker goes down. MARU actually holds on and he knuckles down quite well there. The problem is the lack of add-ons. Tech Lab and Reactor only now building. And of course, there's more units coming. Oh god, there's a Prism. The Prism hard counters the Widow Mines. He needs bunkers right now. He's building a medevac. He doesn't have any units. He has no add-ons. There's nothing he can do here. Oh, Hero picks up the Stalker at the last second there. Warps in 3 more. I think this might just be it, guys. He doesn't have any tools right now. MARU's trying to build a siege tank. He's got a medevac, a Marine, a Widow Mine, and a Viking building. Oh man, MARU, this is why you don't proxy Rax the cheese god in game 7. It's because he's the cheese god. He's so good in these sort of games, man. Look at that. Dodges another Widow Mine shot. This is a huge problem right now. And Hero is raining down death and destruction on this mineral line, warping in Zealots as well, picking up those units, not losing anything. The Banshee does finally take out the shield battery and kill 6 probes as well. Hero says, I don't care if you deny my natural. I only need 1 base mining because you don't have any bases mining. I just killed your everything. All your base belongs to me. I'm the cheese god. How dare you proxy rax me in game 7? MARU gambled on Hero being greedy in game 7. But Hero decided to play super safe with that aggressive probe scout at the very start of the game, guys. I want to just show you, that's one of his first probes. He lets the probes mine, he splits 1 onto minerals, and he sends 1 across the map. And this is specifically hard counters any sort of double proxy rax cheese. Very well done by Hero. And he brings out the Korean Royale Season 1 and manages to become the champion. And after throwing altitude in game 1, I thought any other Protoss player would have been a little bit flustered. Hero does not care. He both throws games and makes epic comebacks on a daily basis. GG, well played. Hero winning the Korean Royale.